Welcome to Headlocks, Heels, and Havoc, the wildest mixed tag team in podcasting, where the kayfabe drops and the chaos takes over. Let's ring the damn bell.
Headlocks tight, heels on the prowl, dropping elbows, hearing growl, feeling foul. No script here, just real, no bluff. Kayfabe crack, now the dirt gets rough. Headlocks, heels, havoc in the zone. Stepping in the ring, chaos is your home. No filters, no mask, just raw pants on. Wrestling unscripted, we on the throne. Title bells, mic checks, crowd going crazy. Drop truth bombs, leaving lines feeling hazy. Beyond the kayfabe, past the charade, where legends are born and stories get made. Headlocks popping, who's hitting the mat? Welcome to the Havoc where the real talk's at. Tune in, step through, leave the fake at the door. Headlocks, heels, Havoc, now hear the roar.
Welcome to the show, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. I am one half of the greatest tag team in podcasting, the legend J-Mac. With me, as always, is everybody's favorite uncle, Uncle Slam.
What's up, family?
And today we have got a very couple of special guests with us. We have got the OG, UGLY, OG Ugly.
Yes, sir.
And his lovely wife, Nina Darling. Nina. Okay. See, I didn't know. I was like, is it Nina or Nina? Nina, I don't know. I'm going to get it wrong and she's going to correct me. There you go. Nina Darling then. See, that one's on me. How are you all doing? And thank you all for being here.
And thanks for having us.
Yeah, appreciate you guys. We're doing good. Hope you guys are doing well as well.
Always.
Glad to have you.
Yes. So, I mean, hey, let's just get into it. So, I personally, I honestly, I didn't know anything about OG Ugly until, as I was telling you off screen, my daughter came up to me last year after the Harrodsburg show. She was like, Dad, you got to see this wrestler. And to be fair, we were kind of new to the indie scene and going to the EWA events and everything, so we didn't know a lot of people and everything. She come up to me, she was like, look, he gave me this bracelet. His name's OG Ugly. He's the coolest guy in the world. Just kept going on and on. So, of course, I had to go do a little digging and finding out who OG Ugly was. And I'm glad I did because I'll be honest with you, man, I'm a fan. I'm a big fan, and I enjoy everything you do in the ring.
I appreciate that. And you said the Harrodsburg show? Was that when I went against Ethan Heyer?
I think so. Yes, because she was so tore during that match because she loves Ethan Heyer too. So she was tore up. And then, of course, she tells me all the time, look at those your pink outfit. She absolutely loves your pink outfit that you announced in a few months ago. She was like, Daddy, I need an outfit like that. And I'm like, honey, what are you going to wear that to third grade? But I guess that's how it is when you got a little girl. You got to give them what they want.
It's so much fun because when else are you going to be able to wear something like that?
Right. Well, I mean, Uncle Slam knows that's all he's got is girls. So he's bought
I got
dress
4
after
girls,
dress.
so I've had to deal with a lot of that.
Yeah, that's wild, brother.
I know. It's not from a lack of effort. It's just not meant to be. That's the way
From a lack of a chromosome, it sounds like.
Well, who knew 4 times that, I would never get a boy.
I think I messed up. I can only hear you. I can't hear anybody else talking. So if anybody else says anything to me, I'm sorry.
Oh, no.
Oh, no. We are having technical
Difficulties.
My bad. StreamYard's not being our friend today, guys. Give us just a second. Let's see. Can you hear everybody now?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. I don't know if I can hear anybody else, but
I can hear
if
everybody.
anything, if I could just reply to you.
Who, just me?
Well, I hate that. No, I think she's only hearing me, Uncle Slam.
Okay.
Guys, give me just a second. I'm going to try to straighten this out. Go ahead and keep talking. Well, I don't know I don't know whether to end this real quick and start it back up or. I've never
Is there a lot
failed
of
this
people
before,
on
guys.
your Wi-Fi or whatever? Do you have a lot of people on your
Yeah, I think I
network?
can only hear you
Maybe
now, too.
why it's kind of choppy.
No, I don't have anything on my Wi-Fi. I've turned everything off. I'm not for sure why it's doing this.
Oh.
I apologize to you all. I am so sorry.
Oh,
Let me try redoing this again. We're gonna do this.
So sorry.
This is the first time. I mean, we have a couple hiccups every now and then, but it's the first time it's ever been this bad.
Is anybody having any problem?
No, now I can't hear anybody at all.
Now he can't hear you, Jason.
I can't hear anybody now.
Now,
hold on. I'm gonna leave and I'll try to come back.
I tell you what, let's just end this one and we'll scrap it and we'll start it fresh here in just a second.
All right.
Just wasn't meant for us to start before 8:00.
Should we exit the whole studio or whatever?
No.
All right.
Yeah, I'm gonna everybody just exit and I'll re-invite everybody and we'll go from there to see what we can get going.
All right.
All righty. Let me let them know.
Okay.
Guys, I apologize about this. Okay. Can you hear Uncle Slam?
What?
Yep, I can.
I can hear everybody now.
Now everybody's working?
Okay. We may have solved the problem.
Oh, Lord.
Yes, Jonathan Edmonds, we are having technical issues. I think everybody can hear everybody now. Come on, StreamYard, get it together for us, man. We need y'all. Well, I guess let's just start it out this way.
Yeah, let's give it a shot again.
Whoever wants to go go first, I guess we'll let ladies go first. How did you start in the business doing the ring announcing? What inspired you to want to do it?
All right, I'm going to be completely honest. So going way back to when OG was doing music, I've always been kind of behind the scenes. I did his merch. I, crossed all the T's, dotted all the I's, kind of kept things in line, the calendar ready, that kind of stuff. And that kind of carried over when he started wrestling. So I was doing his merch and, talking to everybody and going to get him for autographs, that kind of stuff. So I was probably at the merch table for a little over a year. And one day, Reverend Ronnie Roberts walked up to me and was like, I think you could do this. So here's a mic and I'll see you at the next training. So thought about it and I went to the next training and we're actually coming up on a year in June. So it's been crazy.
Well, that is awesome because they obviously had seen something in you because he was like, here, do it. And that's got to be nerve-wracking in and of itself,
Yeah, no one had really it wasn't something that I was against. I was a theater kid, so it wasn't like I was scared to be put front and center, but I had always been behind the scenes. So for somebody to come up to me and be like, hey, not only do we want you in front of everybody, but we're going to give you a microphone and you're going to be the center. And it was just a really eye-opening moment.
Have you thought about going to the wrestling part, or are you just going to stick to being an announcer?
I think I'm going to stay where I'm at. My kids don't need two parents with brain injuries, so just saying.
Well, I was going to say we did on our recap last week. We did we had a little funny story. Well, it's not really funny because I'm sure they've had to go through hell trying to explain it. But we seen a story where Alexa Bliss was always having to explain her bruises and stuff to doctors and stuff because of they thought she was domestic violence survivor and stuff. I was like, it's terrible, man, that they think that, but I'm glad there's a legit excuse. So, OG, how did you get into the business and what was your inspiration?
I did a music video back in 2022 or 23, something like that. And the guy that did the video, Derek, he had done a documentary at Grindhouse So the idea of the video was basically I was a referee and I was ignoring the match that was going on and blah blah blah. That has to end with some kind of a bump or a move or something like that. And the original plan was a chair shot, and I wasn't doing a chair shot. I'd never been trained, but anyway, we got around to whatever, and they did a body slam, so I had to learn how to bump, and I just like it was cool. I mean, I did it, and I was like, oh, I can actually do this. But at that point, I was really overweight, so I was like, I want to lose weight first and get into it. And then I just kept running into Too Tough Tony and Ronnie, and they kept inviting us to shows, and we were doing front row seats. And finally, I was like, kind of now or never. I'm a little old to be starting wrestling, but might as well go ahead and try it out. And I loved it. Came out for my first training and loved every bit of it, and been here since April of 24.
Were you a fan of wrestling before you got into it, or like?
Yeah. So when I was a kid, heavily, because I mean I was born in '95, so like late '90s, early 2000s, wrestling was my thing. I quit watching wrestling though in like 2010, 2011, and then me and her went to a NXT event just randomly. We got tickets for it. And I didn't really know very many people there, but Samoa Joe was in the main event against Shinsuke Nakamura and kind of fell in love with it again because I loved Samoa Joe back in TNA. And then seeing Shinsuke for the first time, he instantly became like my favorite wrestler at that point. Yeah. And then we started watching just the pay-per-views and whatever, and never really seen indie wrestling. I'd never really gone and seen that. But now that I'm really into the industry, I love indie wrestling. I love bad wrestling. I love good wrestling. You know, the TV's cool, but indies, they're doing stuff that like nobody else is doing, and they're not afraid to make mistakes. And I feel like it's a little more free, so it's a lot of fun that I've gotten into indie wrestling this late. But yeah, I love wrestling, but I kind of fell out of it in like high school kind of thing.
I think all of us kind of did a little bit or whatever because we kind of have kids, and I know I was like into the Attitude Era, and then once Ruthless Aggression, I kind of tuned out a little bit. Had a bunch of kids, took about 10 years, had a bunch of kids, and then started getting back into it after that. I think, Legend, you were the same way, wasn't you?
Yeah, I was going to say he has like totally echoed our sentiments, like I wonder what that is like, because a lot of people we've talked to have talked about how they've gotten out of wrestling, but come back to it.
Life, so I think. I think it's just life in general. You like I said, you grow up, you have kids, other stuff gets a little more important at the time, and then once you kind of settle down, you come back to it or whatever.
I think the changing of styles too, because I mean, we went from Ruthless Aggression to the PG, and it just wasn't fun. I mean, it got kind of hokey, like kind of like 80s WCW hokey. So like.
Well, see, and that's the thing for us is because we got the golden era, we caught kind of the tail end of the WWF stuff and all that era. And then we went into the Hulkamania and then, into the Attitude. And I agree. Once that PG era come back, I was like, man, I lived through all this with, all the gimmick. I don't want to see that. And that's probably what put me away from it too. So let's go back to, Miss Darling here, and every time I say your name, I was telling OG earlier, I'm a huge fan of the movie Lonesome Dove, and the way that Robert Duvall talks to Lori, he calls her Lori Darling, and the whole time I've been saying your name, I've caught myself like saying it the way he does and everything, and I'm like, I'm trying not to be Gus here. I swear to God, I'm not. But so who would you say is your favorite or your inspiration as far as in wrestling?
In wrestling, so
besides OG, of course.
It is completely split for me because I have been a Becky Lynch fan. Just something about her. And I mean, she's gorgeous, but she really just knows how to tell a story. And then her persona today, just watching her progression over the I'm just enthralled, but just how good she is. So if I had to pick a female, Becky Lynch would be top of the list for me.
Okay. OG.
I mean, it definitely helps that she's married to like the best wrestler in the world right now. But like,
right. I mean,
current
that doesn't hurt
generation,
anything at all.
current generation, I'm a big Seth Rollins fan. I'm really more of an AEW guy now. I like Kyle Fletcher and MJF. I'm a big Penta guy, but like overall, my favorite wrestler of all time is Edge.
Okay. That's not one that we've heard much. Oh,
Yeah.
we lost his feed.
We lost your picture.
Uh-oh.
Oh, no.
Well,
Oh,
let me see if it's anything on our thing.
I
wonder if his phone died on him or something.
Oh, no, I can't hear.
Oh, no. What is going on?
It's like
I can't hear. Hold on.
I'm so sorry, guys.
It's like we lose one and it just takes everybody down.
I know it. Everybody, we apologize about this episode.
I don't know what happened there. I got a call and it just kicked me clean out.
Oh yeah,
what happened?
The phone will do that. Yeah.
Well, the bad thing about it is when we lost you, her audio went out again. See, y'all are linked. There's just no getting away from it, y'all. In every way, technologically.
Right. What I was saying earlier was just my overall is Edge. Close second is Angle. Benoit and Punk are probably like my top 4 outside of what Benoit did, but as an in-ring performer,
right?
Yeah,
easily one of the greatest of all time, in my opinion.
Oh, we totally agree. I mean, you have to be able to separate.
Yeah.
I'm not a fan of what Hogan has said in the past and everything, but I was a big Hogan fan growing up.
Yeah.
And I can separate Hulk Hogan from Terry Bollea.
What he meant to the industry,
I know
the same way about Vince. What he means to the industry is different than what he was as a person, or is as a person. Vince.
Exactly. And Benoit's contributions to wrestling, I mean, you can't overstate it enough. He in his era, he put on some of the best matches there was. And, and again, I hate that, the tragedy happened and, but at the end of the day, we're here to talk wrestling, not, this ain't the first 48. So,
those
ain't a bad show
my
either.
Favorites. Inspiration wise, maybe a little different because I'm a big Stone Cold. I get a lot of that. And Bret Hart, guys I study. Dusty Rhodes is somebody I've been told I do like a common man type of thing. That's why people love me. I'll take that. But
I can see that. I can see it, like a modern day common man type thing. I like that.
That's Are you excited that Edge came back now?
Yeah, I was excited when he came back to WWE, but I'm really excited about what he's going to do in this AEW run.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about. Yeah, because the last pay-per-view he came out like him and Christian or whatever.
I'm hoping that this is kind of like the retirement tour for him. I think he's good, but I mean, I don't want it to get to the point of like he keeps getting hurt. I don't want it to run down to the point where it's like sad.
Yeah, especially with a neck injury, like you don't want to see him. Risk too much, like I said, because that's one of those things like you don't come back from. And
right, but I'll watch anything he does.
I may not be a fan of everybody, but I at the end of the day, I want to see everybody walk away. Yeah. 100%. It was sad to see like Arn Anderson have to retire, and then you slowly notice that his hand was starting to atrophy and stuff and everything. And not knowing that he was still wrestling with that arm doing that, it's sad to see stuff like that. And I agree with you. Let's keep everybody safe so that everybody can go home.
I mean, some of it's just freak accidents too. I mean, like Chris B or whatever, TNA. I mean, that was terrible, but it was a freak thing. Like everybody does neck breakers. I mean, literally everybody in the world does those. And then Kit Wilson's partner, same thing. I mean, everybody does moves like that. It's just sometimes it happens. And I'd hate to see that happen to somebody like Edge. And then the story turns sad from being awesome that he got to come back from all of that. And I just want his last matches to be fire. Do what he did before, because I mean, like I said, he's my favorite.
So how hard is it to balance the relationship outside of the business as far as like inside the business? Because I'm sure there's times like me and Superfly Johnny Lee, we were talking about it the other day. He said, "Yeah, man, I know OG has wanted to jump in that ring sometimes and smack Ben Sheeran for the way he's talked.
Actually, I mean, to be honest with you, Ben's my manager when that's happening. So at EWA, I'm in the Ben Sheeran break. So yeah, no, I mean, it's part of it. Nothing could really bother me, man. We've been together for so long. Everything's kind of solid anyway. So like, there's not a lot that can bother me with any of that. As long as they don't touch it.
That's exactly right. She don't want to take a bump, so you better not put your hands on her. So
Right.
Right.
I've been asked a few times.
Not bumping.
Well, it's because, I was going to ask the same question, because I was looking forward to some mixed tag team matches and everything. But, I guess we're not going to get that.
No.
It's okay. I mean, there's chances. You never know, because there's ways to get around bumping. We've seen matches before where there's people that, I think Lillian Garcia did a match at one point, actually. But she took some bumps. I think she was in a mixed tag match one time as well.
Oh, hey, maybe one day it'll be, she can be your Miss Elizabeth to your Macho Man coming out to the ring with you one day. Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
That would be cool.
Big Macho Man Mark too.
Oh, I am too. I love Macho Man, but that's because I got to meet him one time whenever I was working for Stanley Steamer. We got a call to go up to Frankfurt, and I was like, the dude was like, he knew I was a big wrestling fan. He said, don't be acting all crazy or nothing, everything, because this is a real important person. We're going to his house. And I'm thinking senator or something like that. Yeah. We get up there and everything. He tells me, go knock on the door. I knocked on the door. I kind of turned around looking back at him. He was like, turn around. About the same time he said that, I heard the door opening, and I just looked up. And there's the Macho Man standing in front of me. I'm just like, my chin hit the ground, and he's just looking at me. He goes, you gonna come in, or you just gonna stand there and stare? I was like, oh I'm coming in. What do you want me to do?
One of my first times on the road was actually they did a Miss Elizabeth exhibit at like a museum in Frankfurt.
Yeah.
And one of my first times on the road, just showing up, I wasn't booked. I just got a match randomly against Chainsaw Nate. We worked that show, so that was pretty cool. They had a bunch of her stuff, like memorabilia, but like actual stuff she wore, like some of the gowns that she had for like matches and stuff like that. It was pretty cool.
That is awesome. And it's awesome too that they're spotlighting her, especially here in her home state.
Yeah.
And that's another reason why, again, we wanted to have both of you on, because we don't want to just spotlight just wrestlers. We want to spotlight everybody who, has a role in the business, because it's all part of the show.
Right.
That you're only going to get as over as the ring announcer gets that crowd hyped up to see you or to boo you, So it's all, I love the fact, I especially love the fact that you guys are a married couple that are doing it together and, finding a way to do it. That's inspirational too, because it shows people that you don't have to have separate lives and, do all that stuff. You can have fun together and, do things together. I think it's really inspirational to a lot of people that are in the business.
And that was a big push for me as well, because don't get me wrong, like me and OG have been together for coming up on 20 years now, and my oldest daughter is 10. My life, the last 20 years, it is wife, 10 years mother. And to be able to show my daughter that if that's all you want to be, that's great, but you can be more. You can find something outside of that and still be a wife and a mother. You can go, and I've been on, in crowds for all types of different people. I get to dress however I want. I get to talk. People cheer me. There was a little girl dressed up like me at an EWA show.
Aww.
And just to be able to be like, to look at my daughter and be like, you can be more. So that's a huge inspiration for me every time I step out.
Oh, I 100% agree, because my 9-year-old, the one that absolutely adores you, she sits there and tells me all the time, when you retire, Dad, I'm taking over your podcast.
Oh.
So, she loves the business. You all have absolutely, the whole group she tells people all the time, my wrestling is not WWE or anything like that. My wrestling's EWA. Those are my wrestlers. Those are the ones I want to go see.
That's awesome.
So, I mean, you all are doing great things. Yes, it is. And it shows you that, just like with the independent scene, like you were talking about, we knew nothing about the independents a year ago. And sitting here almost a year later, I would rather go to 15 of your all shows than to sit and watch one pay-per-view of WWE, honestly and truthfully.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Well,
that's how I feel. I do that. I watch independent wrestling way more than I'm watching big deal TV wrestling. I do sometimes, and now that they put like WrestleMania and stuff like that on Netflix, we've been watching some like when I get home or whatever. Because I mean, you never know when I'm gonna get home, so been able to kind of just sit out and watch a match. And she hasn't seen a lot of these matches. She's new to wrestling for real, so I'm taking her back to like WrestleMania X7 and making her watch TLC 2 and going back and watching Ricky versus Randy, WrestleMania
so the history or whatever. You taking her back. Okay.
Yeah. She watched, what was it, Rock Stone Cold last night.
Yeah.
Wow, that's a good one.
From X7. Yeah, it's a banger.
So, okay, in saying that, Miss Darling, what would you say is your favorite throwback match so far that he's shown you?
It would probably have to be, and I know he just brought it up, but Rock and Stone Cold was just, I remember watching it as a small child, and it was one of those moments where I'm sitting there and it's like, it takes you back. The visuals of like, and I just, they knew what they were doing. Looking down, looking up, the blood on the face. These men were so talented. Just to be able to like take me back to I was probably, a small child. So to remember these things that had happened, watching them 30 years later, it was crazy to me.
Oh yeah. And to steal a line from Gorilla Monsoon, every one of their matches, you should cut the electricity with a knife. And it was just, it was great. It was great feuds and stuff.
What's cool about their match, like that one specifically, is if you watch it, they don't bump. There's not any bumps until the back third, maybe even smaller piece than that. So it's something to show her like the visuals of wrestling can mean a lot more than the moves. Because nowadays it's not that way a lot of times, and I think that's an issue. But
it is because, like they say, you got a bump card.
Yeah,
and there's only so many you're going to be able to take before you're going to have to change things up. Because the hip don't work as like it used to. I can attest to that, and I've never taken the first bump in whatever.
I love bumping. I'm a bumping guy. Like when I'm a heel, I love to bump. I like getting the baby face what he can. I mean, when I'm a baby face, I like to bump too, but like different ways. But I love to bump. I'm one of those guys that I would rather do that. But there are some times I just don't want to bump, and you don't need it. I mean, you can tell a story without it, and I'm pretty good at that. Because we train that way here specifically. We do a lot of days where you're not allowed to bump. You have to do a full match. You're not allowed to bump at all. 0 time. Okay. You have to do a full 10-minute match. So it teaches you how to work. And I love it.
And a lot of people don't realize you hear 10-minute match and that don't sound like much in time wise, but go out there in the ring. You can 10 minutes can feel like 20 or 30 if you do it right.
Well, you watch TV, if you really time the TV matches, if you take the commercials out of them, most of them aren't even 10 minutes.
Yeah.
They're like 7-minute matches.
Yep. It most definitely is. So you said something about music earlier. What kind of music, and are y'all still in the music business or?
Yeah, so like the OG Ugly character is not a character. Like I was a rapper before, so like the character is really me. I did music for most of my life. I think I started when I was like 11-ish, and I didn't stop until when I started wrestling. I did take a big pause, and I came back last year when I did my theme song. But we don't use it at EWA, so if you've only seen me at EWA, you wouldn't have heard that one yet. And then since then I've done a couple of theme songs for some guys, and then just did the Stone Cold Suave diss track to Maximo Suave, to try to get him accept the challenge, but he still hasn't manned up enough to do so. But yeah, I did rap music before. I mean, I did shows with Afro Man and Doobie and Project Pat and all kinds of guys.
Okay, yeah.
Ace Hood.
Oh, okay. So you have done some big things in the music.
Yeah.
Yeah, it never really took off. COVID did hit as we were kind of hitting our stride. Then COVID happened and nobody was doing shows and kind of took the drive out. And I kind of didn't like it that much anyway. It was one of those things where I kind of fell out of love with it pretty early. COVID happened. A couple years after that was terrible. And then I left the label that I was on and kind of just did some stuff to do some stuff and didn't really like it. It wasn't anything like this. The love for it, at least.
Right.
I loved this,
Right.
where I kind of just liked doing that, to be honest with you.
So, Nina, do you do some singing as well, or?
No, I couldn't carry a tune in a bucket. I am a behind the scenes girly. I keep everything organized.
She said,
I can do everything else, but nope.
She
That's
handled
why when they asked me
she
to
said,
take the microphone, I was like, "Are you me? Are you sure?"
she handled like merch and the schedule and just keeping me on track. She did stuff like that. Not really like in the music
so
industry.
she
but
was
like,
doing a lot of the heavy lifting.
She did the real work, yeah. Because I mean, I was so bad about keeping a schedule. I didn't care. And then like with merch and stuff, she still keeps up with my merch. I couldn't tell you how many shirts I have. I couldn't tell you how many glasses I have. I just know when I need to reorder stuff. So she takes care of all that. I do keep my schedule now because it's hectic, but she also
has a shared schedule.
Yeah, sometimes I forget that too, and she'll be like, "You got a show on Saturday." I'm like, "Oh my god, that's good."
So like, do y'all work like a regular
I'm
job?
glad you said
Plus the
something.
wrestling?
Yeah, we both work a regular job outside of this. We work from home, so it's kind of
Okay.
I
was
I
gonna
actually
say,
work
like,
for the same place, so
we
it's
work for the
pretty
same
cool.
company in different
Okay.
divisions. Yeah.
So, because like that was gonna be my next question. Like, how do y'all balance your regular job plus this, plus having? You said you had 2 kids or whatever.
Yeah. It's not really that. It's not as hard as it sounds. I mean, I'm one of those people that like I'm not really gone a massive amount, but I'm gone enough that I'm not happy about it sometimes. But we do pretty well. So like our job's kind of set up where you can get off whenever you need to. So you can kind of go in a little earlier and leave. Like they don't care. Pretty easygoing job. So like during fair season when I'm doing a lot of shows and I got to travel a little bit during the week, it's pretty easy to get around it. I mean, I'm dead tired. I mean,
Yeah.
by the end of the week, I'm done for. But like in the moment, we're good. And then, my daughter plays sports like crazy, so we always got practices and stuff. So we just gotta communicate and figure out those days. But usually, I take her at least once, and she'll take her once. And then the games are always early, so we don't really miss a lot in that way.
Okay, that's cool.
So yeah, it's
And
not terrible.
starting off, so while he was doing music, I worked in healthcare for a really long time. So I worked in a dialysis unit. I worked for long-term care. All of those types of. I mean, I had a degree, and I was pregnant with my son, and hemorrhaged while on the floor, and like left and had to go to the hospital. And on the way home from the hospital, my job contacted me and told me that if I didn't return to work, they were threatening my license.
What?
So that day, I took my PT because it was right after COVID, so we weren't allowed to use any PTO. So I took every bit of PTO I had until after I had my son, and it was maybe like a couple days before his 1 month. He was a month old. Our current job called me and was like, "Hey, we're gonna work from home," and I jumped on it so quick. So I was 4 months postpartum and took this job, and have just been. My quality of life has just skyrocketed to be able to do things outside of have a job. The home life is just gotten exponentially better. Oh,
That's great. That's good.
So you're a true hero is what it is. You know, my mom used to be a nurse, so I have the utmost respect for anybody that works in the medical field and, you know, puts themselves on the line for stuff like that, because people don't stop and think about it or realize that you guys are it's not just, healing people and stuff, y'all see some crazies that come in and stuff too. And,
Oh yeah.
These people, y'all, there's so many risks in the nursing profession, medical field, just from getting sick yourself. That's how my mom's career was taken. She got sick working as a nurse and contracted a disease that forced her out of the business. So yeah, you definitely earned a big bunch of respect from me for that alone. So that's all. That is awesome. That is awesome. So Sam, you got any questions? I'm kind of trying to figure out how I want to ask my
So, like,
next
what do
one.
your kids think about, like, what y'all do as far as the wrestling part or whatever? They see mom and dad go out, mom's dressed up, dad's kind of dressed up. Y'all come back with bruises, or do they go to a lot of y'all's matches or whatever?
Yeah, Nova runs my merch at most places. My daughter. So I mean, she's been there for a lot. She's seen some of the training, so she's kind of had a peek behind the curtain as well. Noah, he's so young that it's just wrestling. I'm never his favorite wrestler. It's always somebody else. Usually,
He always likes it. He loves the heels.
Okay.
yeah, and I'm a big baby everywhere but EWA, so like I'm never his favorite, but he likes it. It seems like Nova maybe wants to dip her toes into it when she's old enough. We'll see on that one. I don't know about all that. I don't know if I can watch that, but she didn't know anything about wrestling at all. And we started taking her to some shows. She's been to AEW a couple times now, and she goes to the indie shows with us, and sometimes she's on the road. It just depends. If I'm a heel, it's harder to take her some places because there's been some places that's gotten kind of rough. But
yeah, I was at SMPW one time in Illinois. I had a lady follow me to the bathroom and like threaten me because OG was a heel and I ran this merch. So we try not to take the kids with us so much, other than EWA. But if he's a heel, we tend to send them to a sitter.
It depends on what kind of heel I am.
Yeah.
Depends on where I'm at. That one, I'm kind of a more vocal heel. I say some things. It's R-rated.
Sometimes you got to say some things to get the crowd going,
Yeah, it's one of those shows where there's not really like a rating.
So,
like
well, actually,
so I do.
So what would you all say is like the craziest thing individually, or was it the lady following you to the bathroom that has happened to you all at a show or something like that?
The first championship I won, somebody tried to get in the ring and fight me.
What?
Yeah, they had to stop her. And they were either going to stop him or I was going to knock him out. It didn't matter. First championship I ever won was at that same place. And a guy tried to get in the ring.
Damn.
It was Johnny Lee when you took the podcast title, wasn't it?
Yeah, brother. He didn't want me to have that. He didn't want me to have it. But I was a heel, obviously, at the place. And he tried to hop in there. And I don't know that he was ever really serious about actually getting in, but it looked like he was getting serious about getting in. And that would have been a bad move. But it's crazy. I love it, though. I mean, that's the best thing in the world to me. I guess I'm wired different on that one, where it's like I think that's hilarious, and that means I got real heat. Like it's not any kind of joke. It's not fake heat, not cheap heat. That's real. So
we were at Hog Rock.
It means you've done your job for the night.
Oh yeah, Hog Rock's got some crazy ones, but we can't.
Oh, that was why I didn't know what to expect, and getting out that whole weekend was just a ride. That was.
It's a big biker rally, but we go out there and wrestle twice a year. We can't talk about a lot of it, but it's crazy.
Okay, kind of like a Sturgis type thing.
Yeah,
like WCW used to do with like Hog Wild and stuff.
Exactly.
Okay, that's
exactly.
Cool. Yeah. I've heard some stories about like little. I was gonna say I've heard a lot of stories about the little Sturgis here in Kentucky, so
yeah,
I'll just leave that at that too.
I'm sure they're close.
Right. So what all companies do you all work with? Because I definitely want to watch some more of your stuff other than just EWA.
Hers will be faster, so she could go
So
ahead.
our big one is Grindhouse. Love Grindhouse. Love them so much.
Okay.
So say Grindhouse is twice. The fourth Sunday that we have EWA and KWF, but I'm not exactly sure where if they're picking back up or what's going on with that one. And then I ring announce for XCF with Shane Mercer. So that's my list.
Yeah, I work with a ton, but the main Grindhouse, that's my home. Jeffersonville, Indiana, I definitely suggest coming out to those. The 22nd is the next one, this Sunday. Now they've opened up a second show called Level Up, where the newer guys get to come out and kind of debut and stuff like that. I just main evented and gave a guy his first match there. And then EWA, like she said, KWF when they're running. I'm at TCW in Ferguson, Kentucky, UCW fair shows, and we're kind of all over the place. Cloverport, Campbellsville University, Jimmy Walls. I think it's USWF. I could be messing that up completely. They all operate together, but I'm with him. No Fold Pro Wrestling in Illinois. Guilty by Association in Indiana, and those are just the ones I'm at like every month. And then there's random ones that I'll just go and do shows. Like I just work for Wildfire against Kerry Morton and Alex Taylor with Ethan Heyer. So it's just kind of like they hit me up if they've got it and they got a good opponent. I'm out there, kind of thing.
That's awesome. It sounds like you all are really getting out there, especially, Nina, with you being so, young with it and everything, to have three places that are, pretty much home places already.
Yeah.
That's pretty big in and of itself, but then, with OG, you're going pretty much everywhere. It sounds like.
I know, all over Kentucky, Indiana, Illinois.
Right.
Yeah.
So what's
We're
the
trying to expand
furthest you've gone?
Memphis. I think that's the furthest. I did
Memphis?
a TV spot in Memphis.
Okay. Old school Memphis wrestling. Is it still the same atmosphere as it used to be back in the day with, the Memphis wrestling was, had its own certain thing?
Yeah, I was a heel out there, and I just did old school kind of catch wrestling, basic stuff. But we didn't do any kind of like Canadians or like crazy stuff like that, because that crowd, they probably would have reacted to it because there was a lot of young people in there, but it was more of a fair crowd. They just want to see wrestling. They don't really want to see cool stuff that what you would probably see in matches for me now.
They're not into the bigger spots and stuff, so to speak, like they, the crazy spots. Let's put it that way. Not the, I won't say crazy because I don't know how to, it's definitely, there's different styles, there's that old Southern wrestling, you got, of course, British, Japanese strong style and stuff. There's so many different things. Do you find it hard to transition to other companies that want you to do or wrestle outside of what your norm is?
I haven't really hit that a lot. I'm kind of a spot monkey guy now, but for most of the time I've been wrestling, it's been more of learning, because I've only been wrestling for like a year in ring. But the whole way up was kind of like basic-ish kind of wrestling, not really basic, but putting my moves together, figuring out things to like the point now where I can go out there and do a lot of the crazy stuff, and I haven't pulled most of it out yet. Like I've worked on it, but haven't got to pull it out in matches yet. But a lot of promoters really just, it seems like to me, they want you to go out and do whatever. The hard part is if they have like complicated finishes, or if both guys aren't at the same level. If they put you with a guy that's not very good, or the other way. I mean, I've been the guy that's not very good, and they put me with people. So it really just depends on those kind of situations. What's up, Doc?
So that's been kind of a harder thing for me to learn, is all of the places I've worked for, not a single one has wanted the same thing. So having to transition between each promoter and what they want and their specifications, as I going into it was like, okay, hand me a microphone, I'm going to say names. And not a single place I've worked for has wanted the same like format. So learning what everybody likes and keeping it written down and being able, so like this weekend we have EWA tomorrow, wants it completely different than what Grindhouse wants done on Sunday. So it's a transition.
Let me ask you this: as a ring announcer, does anybody like ever ask you to like be kind of heelish or more of a face when you're ring announcing?
No, really the only instruction I was given was like make it my own. Don't try to mimic anybody. Just go out there and be you times 10. I do personally myself like to go to the heels and be like, hey, be a heel. Give me something to work with. I, as a ring announcer, work best when I have something to work with. So if the baby faces come up to me and you want to baby face it up and high five, handshakes, we're gonna do all the things. If the heels come up and want to growl at me or whatever, like I'm if you're scary, I'm scared, So that's the only instructions really is just to be me times 10.
And that's kind of cool because you said that you had a background in like acting and drama
Yeah.
in school and stuff and everything. So that kind of helps. I'm sure that helps out a little bit, especially like you said, somebody giving you something to work off of
Yes.
as opposed to just, okay, now I got to figure out how to do this real quick.
Yeah.
On the fly. I wouldn't want to do it. I would not want to do that job.
My initial reaction is to give attitude. Like when you don't give me anything to work with, my reaction is attitude. And I was like, I don't want to come across as just, having an attitude all the time. So if you give me something to work with, we can, mutually benefit from it.
And that's the way but that's the beauty of the whole thing is like I was telling who was it I was talking to about that. I want to say it was my daughter. I was like, it's like a dance. I was like, because I was showing her how, like, I mean, what I know of it and everything, not that I know anything and I don't claim to know anything, but I was showing her, just stuff that I've learned that how, like, you lead with the left, you do things to the left, this, that, and the other when you're locking up and stuff. And she was like, why is it the left? And I was like, the only thing I know to tell her was, it's because it's like a dance. Everybody knows if you start off on this side, then we can go from here to here from that. And I think that's the beauty of wrestling is just getting a good dance partner and being able to go out there and tell a good story. Like he said, whether you're bumping or whether you're just going out there and doing a rock stone cold and just getting everybody involved by flipping middle fingers or whatever it is you got to do to get the reaction. Uncle Slam, you got any questions for him? I feel like I'm cutting you off a whole lot.
Well, I kind of like I kind of like to let you talk. Also, I kind of like to let them, like get out what they want to say, and I don't like cutting people off. But I guess what do you think? I mean, like I said, you've been doing this probably, what do you say, like a year or so, year and a half or whatever?
Yeah, I've been in the ring for a year.
Okay. What do you think the biggest thing that you've learned in that year about wrestling, as far as something that you didn't know, when you first started that you might have known now that you wish you could probably tell yourself, your younger self or whatever?
I mean, two big things. I mean, slowing down's one, and everybody told me the same thing, and you don't trust it until you get to that. But slowing down's a big thing. Like the old adage, I think Triple H said it. If you feel like you're going slow down. That's a big thing because like when I first started, I rushed everything just like everybody else does. I mean, it's pretty common. And then the other one, like you don't have to bump. I really that didn't sink in for a long time either. But yeah, those two things. Like if I could go back and really drill that in or know that going back, I would have been a much better wrestler starting. Like I don't feel bad for everybody that went against me in the early parts, but like I definitely could have done better. And it's been a big deal for me this year to try to run it back with as many of them as I could.
Okay.
I'm way better now. I mean, insanely different in just a year. But yeah, those things, and then maybe even throw in there like go to training more. I went to training a lot, but still could have went more. If I went to training as much as I did now, I would have been a monster 6 months ago.
That's awesome. It just, I love learning about people's journeys because not everybody's journey to where they are is the same. You know, there's parallels, but it's not, nobody's journey is exactly the same. And that's the beauty of wrestling is, and doing a show like this is you get to sit down and talk to people, see what what their journey is, what their experience is, as opposed to everybody else's along the way. And it's I don't know. I just love wrestling. I love everything about it. It's hard to put it into words because there's so many different aspects that I'm so interested to learn about. Sorry, I got a frog in my throat. That's why I've been sucking water down like crazy. So let me ask you this: are y'all ready for WrestleMania? And we'll go off on this and everything. What are y'all excited about for this year's WrestleMania?
I think if it's the dates I think it is, I'm going to be on set for a film both days.
That's
I probably
cool.
won't watch very much of it. I watch the product, but I don't keep up with enough of it. CM Punk and Roman Reigns will burn it down, and I'm going to watch that at some point. I'm looking forward to that specifically. I probably can't name very many other matches. Oh, Oba and Brock. I'm going to watch both of those matches. I think Oba's the guy. I think he's going to be the future of wrestling for sure. No question. And if they do what they should do with that, it could be a WrestleMania moment for sure. It'd be a beautiful thing.
Speaking of wrestling, what do you think about the state of wrestling right now? A lot of people kind of criticize the product, Triple H's creative and pricing as far as, tickets going up, pay-per-view, everything being so much expensive. Like a lot of time on our show, we talk about they kind of. Oh, we're back.
You're kind of cutting out.
I think.
Yeah. I'm telling you, I've never had these technical issues.
Is everybody
on this
back?
show. We're here.
Yep, I can.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Can you hear us, Uncle Slam? Guys, I apologize. It's never like this. I promise. We're definitely going to have you back on.
Hear you now, I think.
All right.
I can't hear her.
Can you hear me?
OG?
I can hear you.
I don't think he can hear me.
I'm telling you. The streaming gods
don't
like us.
Yeah, his audio is all.
It's choppy and everything. Uncle Slim, try refreshing your page. See if that helps.
I didn't catch that. You're from. Oh, damn.
Well, I will go ahead and let. What he was saying is, you can hear me, right, OG? And,
yeah.
Okay, Nina. Okay, just make sure y'all can still hear me. So, what he was saying is, what do you all think about the state of the bigger wrestling, especially WWE, overpricing and stuff and everything, kind of pricing regular families out of watching their product?
Go watch indie
and the creative side of it or whatever.
Yeah.
On the prices, go watch indie wrestling. I can give you 10 shows you can watch for less than $20.
See, we say the same thing all the time. And you still have money left over to go out to eat.
Right. And you might see some bad wrestling, but like I said, I love bad wrestling. So you watch bad wrestling, helps you appreciate the good wrestling. And then as for the creative, if you don't like WWE, go watch AEW. It's completely different. If you don't like AEW, go watch WWE. If you don't like either one of them, look up New Japan. If you don't like that, ROH is still around. TNA is still around. The creative in WWE is what it is. I don't know what decisions they're making, but I have liked a lot of the
There's
payoffs.
options.
Yeah, but yeah, if you don't like it, like I'm a spot monkey guy, so AEW is really cool to me. But there's a lot of guys that hate it. I love it. I think it's ridiculous, but it's like awesome to watch. It's fun. It's adrenaline pumping, and even if there's not a great story going on, I just like seeing the moves in those cases. So like, I'm watching more of that than I do WWE. But if you don't like either of them, go watch independent wrestling. You'll find something. I mean, if you're really a wrestling fan, you can find something
Okay.
somewhere.
Well, and not only that, too, with independent wrestling, you don't know what superstar you're going to see today that in
Right.
5 years, like, in 5 years, when we see you guys working for a big company on TV, we can go around and say, hey, we saw them and we knew them and they were on our show. Look.
Yeah. That's what's great about it. I mean, there's so many. I mean, just in Grindhouse, we've had Billy Starks. There's been all kinds of people, but Billy's probably been the biggest out of all of us. And she's from the same school. Like I'm in the building right now. It's like that's one thing. Like she was just a normal person. Now she's the AEW superstar.
So let me ask this: with you all both, with being married and stuff and everything, like, do you all like have aspirations of I'm sure you do, because if somebody hands me a contract that says, hey, sign this and you'll get X amount of money, I'm probably going to sign it unless it's, horrible deal. But like, are you all just like, because I thought about this a long time ago and I was like,
Okay, go get you something. I'm on the meeting.
how many people say that like somebody who's made a career on the independent scene and never goes to WWF or WCW, were they unsuccessful or were they actually as successful as they wanted to be?
Yeah, it depends on them for sure.
So do you all have aspirations of being in the bigger, shows, organizations and stuff and everything? Or are you all cool with just making a career on the independents and saying, hey, if this is all it is, this is great?
I mean, yes. I mean, that's the only way to answer that one. Like, yeah, it would be cool to go to a big one. I'm older than a lot of them want to sign. I'm shorter than a lot of them want to sign. I don't have an 8-pack. It's gonna be hard to get to a level like that, right? It would be cool. It's not like it's not a goal, but my real goal is like I want to go and wrestle in other countries. I want to go to Japan. I want to go to Europe. I want to go to Mexico. I want to wrestle in Canada. So many greats come from there, right? I want to travel the United States. Like, if that's all it ever ends up being, and I still love this, I don't care. Like, it is what it is. I don't have like an overarching goal where I want to be at a certain level by a certain time. I just want to be able to go have good matches with anybody and go different. Like, I'd love to go to GCW. JCW would be awesome. I've worked for them before. TNA would be cool because I grew up being a X Division guy and a big Samoa Joe and Kurt Angle, Mark and Sting and all those guys. So like, cool. It would be awesome. But I like my freedom. I like being home. But if I could turn this into a job and not actually have to get signed, that would be great too.
Right.
I think for me, honestly, I've spent the last year trying to figure out exactly what I want to do, because going into this was such a surprise in the first place that I've kind of spent the last year figuring it out. When somebody says, hey, be you, but be you times 10, I really had to stop and be like, I'm a mom. I work at a desk job. I was like, so I started off with a little more of a grungy alternative look. I had like the baggy pants and like the tattoos, the dark hair, my entrance music is A Day to Remember, if it means a lot to you. And what started off as what I thought was going to be kind of turned into, well, I went from wearing one outfit to I wore like a tight black fitted. I went more for like the lottery girl look.
Okay.
And it the people really loved it. And so it's kind of evolved. And I really think my biggest goal is to just figure that out. I don't really have aspirations to go anywhere currently. I just want to be better and maybe raise that up to the me times 10 that I think I could be.
Oh, I definitely think both of you all could get other places if you wanted to. Like I said, I've, just, well, I'll be honest with you, until probably 2 or 3 months ago, I didn't even know you guys were married. I had no idea. And then like the last name started popping up, and like I would see posts and stuff, and I'm like, wait a minute, I thought that was Nina. And then what? Who's what? What's going on here? And then I found out, I was like, oh, that's awesome, because even at the shows, I would, you all don't show it, that you guys are a couple or married and have been married for almost 20 years, that it's kind of cool and refreshing to see that you all both come together collectively in that, but you also do your own thing separately, and contribute your own way in a different way.
It's pretty funny because, like you said, we keep it separate enough until it was the Grindhouse Halloween show. We came out as AJ Lee and CM Punk, and we kind of like hinted at it. And I made a video that I posted on TikTok where it was like, I don't know if you guys, or if I've said this or whatever. I was like, but that ugly guy's kind of hot. And thousands of views. People were like, going. So the next time I made it a point to say it again the next time to see if I could get another video. And there's like people in the background be like, he's married. I was like, I
know. I come out to like different, from a different playlist everywhere that I come out. So it's like, if I was coming out to this, I'd be from the Legend J Max playlist, like Spotify playlist or whatever. So I don't come from like a place. And I come from Nina Darling's bedroom playlist a lot. Just depends on where we're at. It's happened like I think 3 times now. The first time she didn't know we were doing it, but I brought a card out during my entrance and handed it to her. I said, "You have to say this," and that was my entrance. But the people know now. We don't instantly name it off, especially if I'm a heel and she's an announcer. Like it's kind of, if you do that, it can come off a way. Right, because announcers are typically "quote unquote" baby faces, even though they're not anything specific. But yeah,
I love y'all's just dynamic that y'all got going on, for real. I mean, it's absolutely awesome that you all have been able to incorporate wrestling into your lives, and and your marriage and everything. I think that's awesome. Uncle Slam, you got anything else for him?
Actually, I don't think I do right now, honestly.
I don't either. Guys, I appreciate you all being here. I don't want to hold you all too long. I know it's a Friday night. Y'all got kids, and I'm sure you want to get home and spend some time with them. And I know y'all are separate right now. We're keeping y'all separated. And I'm sure you want to get home to her, and she wants you home. So,
yeah.
But guys, we appreciate so much you guys coming on, and we are going to have you on again to where we don't have all these technical problems and all that stuff. I apologize.
Definitely. Sorry about this. We apologize.
It is what it is.
Don't hold this against us, please.
Oh no.
It's way more professional than this, I promise.
No, we trust you. We'll definitely come back.
Well, we appreciate it and everything. Like I said, you guys, we more than appreciate anybody that's willing to come on to the show and, not only spotlight you guys and help you all get the eye on you all more, but it helps us out too, because you all have a following and we're trying to build a following too. So, you guys coming on makes your all's fans look at us too. So, that's invaluable to us. We can't thank you enough for that. Do you all have anything you all want to plug, shows coming up besides tomorrow night? We will see them at EWA in Danville, Kentucky. Doors open at 6 o'clock, 7 p.m. bell time. You better get there, get your tickets, get your seats, because this man's going to put on a great show, and this lady is going to let you know who's coming to the ring and get you hyped to cheer for them or boo for them. But if you all got anything else you all want to plug, please feel free to do so.
Yeah, Sunday we'll both be at Grindhouse in Jeffersonville. I believe doors are 2, shows at 3. That's my home place. You can actually cheer for me there. You don't have to hate me there. If I'm at EWA, you got to dislike me, I guess. I'm a big baby here. We're hopefully Maximo shows up. I'll be tussling with him one more time. It's my 1 year anniversary of singles competition. So
I actually seen your post about that. Congratulations, by the way.
Appreciate it. He was my first opponent and like my 4th, 5th, 9th, 10th. Like we've wrestled a lot. So it's gonna be cool.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Nina, you got anything you want to plug or anything?
That's about. We're stuck together for the next couple months, so don't have anything. I just Grindhouse on Sunday is a big one. So.
All right, guys, get out there and see Grindhouse. You know, I'm telling you guys, go to these independent shows. You know, just case in point of what we've been talking about these independent shows as opposed to these big shows. Two things, actually. Me and Uncle Slam, we're taking his nephew and my daughter to SmackDown in May. I had to sign over the rights to my next born child to get tickets to this event. And I'm sure Uncle Slam probably had to sign away some life insurance policy.
I sold a kidney. It's all right.
Oh, okay. Cool. As long as you're healed up before then. Because
I got 2, so it's good.
Right. But, you know, the pricing itself is, you know, you got to be able to do stuff with your family and still be able to not, you know, lose electricity the next day because you can't pay the bill.
Yeah.
But, you know, independent wrestling, you guys do so much for the business that doesn't get spotlighted, and you guys are the up and coming stars. So keep doing what you're doing. We appreciate you all being here. We appreciate everything you all do. And as far as cheering for you at EWA, I've always been somebody that likes the heels better anyway. So I'll cheer for you anyway.
You don't cheer for him. You can cheer for me.
I'll cheer for all of you because y'all are all awesome. We love y'all to death for real. And we appreciate y'all being here.
I appreciate you guys having us on.
Yeah, thank you.
Anytime, like I said, anytime you all want to come on, you know, just, hey, shoot me a message. And if y'all don't, I'll shoot y'all a message and we'll get stuff worked out.
Yes, sir.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, I guess that's the end of the show. The referees hit that 3 count. So we are going to ring that damn bell.